Right, now we're going to do the border. And the border is different for your color A piece and your color B piece. So choose which one of these two colors you want to call color A and which one of the two colors you want to call color B. If you're making them all the same color, then that's fine. You just have to make sure you do one with one of the borders and one with the other border. The reason why is we want the border row, the border round, to be the front side of the stitches. And so if I did them both going in the same direction, then one of them would be front side of stitches and the other one would be back side stitches for the border round. Okay, so it's a little thing, but it makes a difference to me. I'm gonna go ahead and call this blue color A and we will call the yellow color B. So for the blue, for color A body, we're going to chain 1 and then 15 single crochet around the side of the stitches going down the front of the head to the marker. The last stitch will be around the marked stitch. So I need to put 15 single crochet from here all the way down to here, putting my last stitch right here. So I'm going to kind of plan it out. You have a couple things you could do. You could kind of mark thirds, and you know what, maybe I'll do that. It looks like this little bump here and this little bump here kind of divide this whole thing into thirds. So I'm going to get 5 stitches in between each one of those. And you could actually place a marker in each of those places to help you figure out thirds. So I'm going to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, and here was that little bump right here. So that would be 5. There's my next bump, so I'm going to go 6, 9, and here's the bump. So that will be 10. And then let's see, we'll go 14, and then stitch number 15 should be where the marker is. Of course, the marker is in my way, so at this point, I'm going to take it out and just go ahead and stitch right there where it was, 15, okay? So there, my stitches are pretty evenly spaced because I kind of divided it in thirds and figured it out that way. Now we're going to single crochet 2 together from the front of the head. So this is 1 stitch from the front of the head to the first unworked stitch of row 18, which is this trunk, okay? So to single crochet 2 together, I'm going to kind of grab my first stitch on the head right here, okay? So I'm going to grab this stitch kind of right here, right below where that marker had been, and then I'm going to grab the second stitch, will be the very first unworked stitch on the trunk. So you can see this stitch has been worked on the trunk. This is the first unworked stitch on the trunk. So I'm going to grab that as my second stitch, and I'm going to make those go together. Now single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So this is an easy part because these have actual tops of stitches. 1, 4, single crochet 2 together, single crochet in next stitch, single crochet 2 together, single crochet in the chain, which is like right after that last stitch you had just worked into, single crochet in the next stitch, which there is already 1 stitch coming off of the back loop. There's already 1 stitch coming off the back loop of there, but we're going to put 2 single crochet in there. And then 2 single crochet in the tip of the trunk. So here is this kind of trunk tip right here. You just kind of gotta figure your way into that. There we go. 1 and 2. You want to try, you do want to get the correct amount of stitches in the appropriate, as in the most correct as possible place, because otherwise you'll have a problem when you try to join. By doing this the way that I've written, then when you join these pieces, everything will line up nicely. So if you kind of improvise, when you go to join them, it'll be all askew. Single crochet in the bottom of each of next 5 chains. Okay, so here's the bottom of this very first one that was right at the tip of the trunk. 1, 5, 2 single crochet in the bottom of the next chain. 1, 2 single crochet in the bottom of each of the next 3 chains. 1, 2, and 3. 2 single crochet in the bottom of the next chain. 1 and 2. Single crochet in the bottom of each of the next 7 chains. 7. Single crochet 2 together. This is helping more with the shaping of the trunk here. Single crochet in the bottom of the next chain and then single crochet 2 together 3 times. So we're going to single crochet and then single crochet 2 together. That's once, single crochet, and then single crochet 2 together. That's twice, single crochet, and then single crochet 2 together. That is 3 times. And now we're going to single crochet 2 together around the side of the body to just before the marker. So we're going to single crochet 2 together, but not in the actual marked stitch. So single crochet here and here together. Okay? You can see I have not actually gone in where the marker is. Yarn over, pull through, and now we're moving the marker to the loop around the hook. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to single crochet around the side of what had been the marked stitch, and also around the side of the next stitch, and then 11 single crochet around the side of the leg. So we have to go all the way down here, the side of the leg. So one thing I kind of will do here is count how many rows there are. I think there might be 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm just going to place a single crochet around the side of each row. 11. 2 single crochet in the bottom of the first chain of the hook, of the foot. So you see here are the chains on the bottom of the foot. Remember there were 7 stitches there, so there'll be 7 chains. We're going to put 2 single crochet into the bottom of the first chain. Single crochet in the bottom of each of the next 5 chains. 2 single crochet in the bottom of the last chain on the bottom of the foot. 6 single crochet around the side of the leg. So there's 7 rows here. I want to put a single crochet around each of the first 6. Now single crochet 2 together from the side of the leg to the bottom of the belly. Okay, so we're going from the side of the leg right here to the bottom of the belly. So right here. Then single crochet in each of the next 8 chains, the bottoms of each of the next 8 chains on the bottom of the belly. Let's move this tail to the back of our work. Single crochet 2 together from the bottom of the belly to the side of the leg. So there's 1 stitch on the bottom of the belly, and then there's the 1 stitch on the side of the leg. And then single crochet around 6 stitches down the side of the leg. 2 single crochet in the bottom of the first chain on the bottom of the foot. single crochet in each of the next 5 chains on the bottom of the foot, 2 single crochet in the last chain on the bottom of the foot. Okay, single crochet around the side of the leg all the way up to the marker, and the last single crochet will be around the marked stitch. Okay, so from here all the way up to here I need to do a total of 13 single crochet, including putting a stitch. The 13th stitch will be in this marked stitch. 12, and then stitch number 13 is going to go right in where this marker is. I'm just going to pull the marker out and then slide my hook in. All right. Place marker around the loop on the hook. 12 single crochet around the side of the body to the marker. Here's another marker. Last single crochet will be around marked stitch. Okay, so let me see. I need 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's one around the side of each row. Sometimes it's nice to just kind of count and make sure. 11, and the 12th stitch will go right where this marker is. So I'm going to just kind of pull out the marker and then put my hook right where it was. And that makes 12. Now 9 single crochet around the side of the body to the first stitch of row 33. Row 33 was the very last row, so 9 stitches from where we've stopped here all the way up to the first stitch of row 33, but not including that first stitch. So let's see, that would be kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, again, you could kind of divide this in thirds, or you can wing it and hope for the best. All right, so there's 3. So now, let's see, about half would be here, so 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, and 9. Single crochet in each of the next 20 stitches. So go across row 33, 1, 20, slip stitch to top of first single crochet of border, cut your yarn, then fasten off, and you can weave in your ends. Now I kind of cheat that last slip stitch. What I do is I first cut my yarn, okay, and then I pull it out, thread it onto my yarn needle, and then what I do is I'm going to make a little duplicate stitch. Okay, so here's where my yarn came out. I'm actually going to go ahead and go right under here, because this is the top of the next stitch that I'm going to kind of replace. Okay, and then come back down through the top of the stitch. So I'm going back down through the top of the stitch. Here's where the yarn came out. See that, where the yarn came out? I'm going back down through that same spot. Just a second. Ah, maybe. There we go. Okay, so it came out here. I went underneath this loop and then back down from the same spot it came out. Just kind of futz with it a little bit, and you make your little duplicate stitch, okay? And then you can weave in your ends. And you need to make another one of these. So make the other one in the other color. And that will be all the same until we get to the border. So you can make the other one in the other color by following the tutorial that we just did up until the border. And then we'll do that border together. Now I've completed color B body, and I've worked that exactly the same as I did with color A, and now here is where things get different, and that is when we do the border. Okay, the only difference between the color A and the color B of the different parts of Elihu here are the border. So here we are going to do the border for color B. You finish that very last row, and now for the border we chain 1, turn, and single crochet in each of the first 20 stitches. We've done those 20 single crochet, and now I have this little area along the top of the head. I'm supposed to 9 single crochet around the side of the body to just before the next marker. Okay, so I'm going to place 9 single crochet between here and the marker, but not counting the marker. All right, so I'm looking at this, and it looks like I have like 4 of these kind of star looking pieces that are where I have decreased. So I figure if I kind of put 2 in each of them with a little, well, there's kind of 1, 2 biggish ones and 2 smaller ones. I don't know, let me see. I'm just gonna kind of figure this out, try to do it evenly. So, maybe not. All right, 1, 2 in this kind of bigger one, and then maybe 1 in between the 2 bigger ones. That makes 3. 2 in this bigger one makes 4, and 5. 2 in this makes 6 and 7, and 2 in the last one will make 8 and 9. So I put 2 stitches in each of the increases, and then there were those 2 bigger increases at the beginning. I put the additional stitch kind of in between them, and that seems to make a really nice evenly spaced 9 single crochet. Now I need to single crochet in the marked stitch, so I'm going to go ahead and just put my hook in the marked stitch and remove the marker. Make that single crochet. Now 11 single crochet around the side of the body to just before the marker. So just before the marker again. The marker's on this row. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Basically, I think it's closer to 12 here, but essentially 1 at the side of every row. So let's see how that works. 1, 10, and 11. Okay, so 1 in the side of basically every row got me down there nice and evenly. And then place a marker around the top of the last completed stitch. Okay, so around the top of the last completed stitch, not around the loop on the hook. Okay, so that tells me since it's the top of the last completed stitch, it's here, okay, right here around the top of that stitch, not around the loop on the hook. Now I'm going to single crochet in the stitch that I had just marked. I took the marker out of it. Now 12 single crochet all the way down the side of the leg, which I think is going to be 1 in each. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. All right, so let's see if it works. 1, 11, and 12, and then 2 single crochet in the first chain on the bottom of the foot, 1 and 2, and then single crochet in the bottom of each of the next 5 chains on the bottom of the foot, 1, 4, and 5, and then 2 single crochet in the last chain on the bottom of the foot. Okay, now 6 single crochet going up the side of this leg. 5 and 6, and now we're going to single crochet 2 together using 1 stitch on the side of the leg, the very last kind of space stitch on the side of this leg, and the very first chain on the bottom of the belly. So you see how there should be 10 chains going along the bottom of the belly. We're going to single crochet 2 together from the side of the leg to the first unworked chain on the bottom of the belly. So from the side of the leg to the bottom of the belly. And now single crochet in each of the next 8 chains on the bottom of the belly. 1, 8, and now single crochet 2 together from the bottom of the belly to the side of the next leg. All right, and now 6 single crochet around the side of this leg. 5 and 6, and now 2 single crochet in the first stitch on the bottom of this foot. There we go, 2. Now single crochet in the next 5 chains on the bottom of this foot. 1 and 5, and then 2 single crochet in the last chain on the bottom of this foot. 1 and 2. Now I need to look again. 11 single crochet around the side of the leg to 1 stitch before the marked stitch. So here's the marked stitch. So here's the marked stitch. Here's like the stitch before. So I want to go all the way up to about here. Let's see. And 11 stitches. 1, 10, and 11. Now single crochet in that stitch before the marked stitch. Single crochet 2 together in the stitch before the marked stitch and the marked stitch. So single crochet 1, 2 is that marked stitch, taking out that marker, together, and now place your marker around the loop on the hook. Then single crochet 2 together around the sides of the next 2 stitches. So here's where bottoms of loops start. You can see those are the bottoms of my loops. So I'm single crocheting around the side of the next 2 stitches, not in the bottoms of the chains, okay? So next 2 stitches. Now I'm going to work in the bottoms of the 28 chains of the trunk. So you might want to play it safe and count and make sure that you actually have the bottom of 28 chains, okay? This long little strip right here is actually the bottom of 1 chain. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and this last little hoop right here is 28. So I do have my 28 chains, okay? If you don't have the 28, you need to figure out if you accidentally worked into an extra one. If maybe it's just that that very last one is tight, you know, figure out where it is, find your 28 bottoms of chains. Single crochet 2 together in the bottom of the next 2 chains. So these 2, the first 2 of our trunk chains, are single crocheting 2 together. Single crochet in the bottom of the next chain, single crochet 2 together 3 times. So single crochet and then 2 together. That's 1. Single crochet and then 2 together. That's 2. Single crochet and then 2 together makes 3. Single crochet in the bottom of each of the next 7 chains and 7. 2 single crochet in the bottom of the next chain. 1 and 2. Single crochet in the bottom of each of the next 3 chains and 3. 2 single crochet in the bottom of the next chain. 1 and 2. Single crochet in the bottom of each of the next 5 chains, which should finish out your 28 chains. 4, and once you've done this one, you've pulled the very last one tight usually. 5, so the last one might be a little bit hard to work into. Now 2 single crochet in the tip of the trunk. So you're just kind of going right in here and putting in 2 single crochet, 1 and 2, right in that tip of the trunk. Okay, 2 single crochet in the next stitch, which is just you see how there's this little kind of ridge that's going through our trunk? It's kind of right at the end of that ridge is where you want to put the next 2 single crochet. Then we're going to single crochet in the next stitch and single crochet in the next chain. So single crocheting in the next stitch is this kind of stitch right above that ridge. Okay, here's our little ridge. Here's that little stitch right above it. This part can get really tight here. And then we're going to single crochet in the chain, which is this, it has tightened up, but it's this little bumpity bit right before we start seeing very clearly tops of stitches. Okay, so all of this stuff should be done before you hit those tops of those stitches. And as long as you've done that, you're good. Now we have tops of stitches. And these are the tops of the stitches from row 18, okay? And that's what we're going to be working into for a while now. Single crochet 2 together. And we're just going into the tops of these stitches, so this should be nice and easy right now. Single crochet in the next stitch. Single crochet 2 together. Single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches, then single crochet 2 together in the top of the last unworked stitch of the trunk, row 18 trunk, and around the side of the next stitch, so the stitch that's just before the marker. Okay, so here is the last unworked stitch of row 18, and then here's that stitch right before the marker. So you just kind of stitching these 2 together with your single crochet 2 together. Okay, and now we've come to our marker. Single crochet around the marked stitch. So doesn't look like I have room for the marker and the hook, so I'm going to pull out the marker and then put in the hook and make a single crochet. 14 single crochet around the sides of the stitches up the front of the head to row 33. Okay, so we're going all the way up here to this row 33, and there are going to be 14 stitches. So I'm going to kind of mark halfway. Here we go, halfway. Okay, so here we are marked in half, and I need 7 on either side of those halves. Okay. So let me try that. 1, 6. Okay, I can take this out. 7, and you want 7 to either be where the marked stitch was or right before where the marked stitch was, but definitely not past it, and definitely not to the point where stitch 8 will be before it. Okay, so either stitch 7 or 8 should go right in where that marked stitch was. Okay, that was 7. This is 14. This is right before where I started row 33. So now I'm going to single crochet in each of the next 20 stitches. Those will be the 20 stitches on top of row 33. Okay, we need to do this to even it out with the other side. With the other side of the body. So 20 stitches just along the top, 1 and 20, and then just slip stitch to the top of the first stitch I made of the border. So as usual, I'm just going to cut the thread before and not make that slip stitch because I'm going to make a duplicate stitch instead.